but it's Payton's. I've been playing D&D with him too long to not know how to play his characters.
No.
Sometimes
Start drinking.
Really
that
didn't
juice.
in this case. Like there was really like even like thematically in storyline ways, like there was no other way that she could have worked at that point.
Hi, stream.
Hello, stream.
What's up? What's up?
Hello, bees.
Peace.
So, good news. We won't be, shopping this episode.
Woo!
Yeah, we're gonna be returning all the stuff that didn't fit.
Well, we might be shopping this episode. There's a chance there's be
Like
shopping.
the gun.
That fits like a glove.
But, as the party stands now, they are in the city of Dimladar. We're starting off good tonight. Preparing, planning, buying, selling. Generally getting ready for their own self-imposed demise. As their plan currently is to venture out into what we have all now so fondly dubbed the Death Forest, in search of monster bits.
Yes.
So we're gonna see how this goes. At the moment, the party had gone to sleep and are just waking up now to the smell of a cooking dwarven breakfast. And as the party all gathers in the tavern area, it is up to you guys what you shall do today.
Food is always good. Auglist is going to find an open chair at a table and eat some food.
As you move to sit down, you already see Vaska, the owner of the establishment, running around and handing out plates of food and tankers of mead and ale to the early rising patrons.
Well, according to my goblin's math, as of this morning, we has approximately 1,000 of the gold coins left. Now, assuming that we does wish to avail ourselves of a magic extractor and the appropriate monster harvesting kit, we will be down at about, say, 650. Now, a Kenku fella here, rightly dress him up. Kenku fella, is there anything you would need from our funds? You can draw a picture or write something down maybe.
He's
And I
just going to make the sound of gold coins clinking together.
Yes, well, you don't actually need to buy gold coins with gold coins. We already has the gold coins. Is there anything else that would be beneficial to you?
He repeats the sound.
I'm going to need a little help over here.
So I will, I'll step in and I will make a druidic animal noise to the Kenku, and see if there is a response that I can understand.
Kenku just mimics the sound back at you.
Okay, I cannot speak Kenku.
Oh, yes, well, good luck. Oh, how many of the gold coins she would like?
At this point, both Isoba and Artoria come stumbling into the tavern, looking a bit worse for wear. Looks like some morning bug between the two of them.
Well, that's not good. They look almost as worse as I do.
Yes, that was not on my shipping schedule.
You have a schedule now?
Well, I like to stay organized.
Well, I think getting the
Hold up.
extractor and the kits will be a good investment. If it's even if it is expensive right now, it should pay for itself.
Yes, I can't imagine there's too many folks as insane and unbalanced as to wish to go into this forest of death to harvest these things, so we should have the market relatively to ourselves.
And you do know that between the harvesting kit and the essence extractor, you can get most of what is valuable, although many creatures, the things that make potions and sort of items, a lot of them are perishable. They do not last very long without being kept in the proper receptacle, but unfortunately that proper receptacle is a bit out of your reach unless you really shove everything you have together.
So question, as a proficient alchemist or a brewer, would I, within my brewing supplies that I carry for my ointment, would I have anything that could help in the preservation?
Your ointments are mostly floral in nature. It is mostly plant life. It's not so much
Body parts.
animal bits, and the animal bits that go into it are used in like animal fats and things that are meant to be boiled and not kept.
Gotcha.
You could use a gentle repose spell. That works on humanoids, I believe.
I don't actually know.
I think it's a creature.
Let's look
Double
it
check.
up.
I'm not even sure if anyone in the party has that spell.
You
So-
touch a corpse or other remains. I mean, yeah, you could technically do that. Of course, if you have more than one, it starts to become tricky with spell slots.
Right, got it.
Cleric or a wizard. I won't be able to pick that up for a while.
I think we may have a cleric in the party, but
We may.
we
Don't
may.
think you can cast that spell yet. It's a second
Yeah,
level.
second level.
So,
Yes, your best bet for keeping things preserved. And there are certain parts that there's limits to even to what a gentle repose spell could do, just because of the nature of certain parts. They tend to break down almost immediately upon leaving the body.
Sure.
So just keep that in mind when you're picking stuff up.
Okay.
So, for the moment, unless other folks has additional funds they wish to avail themselves of, I suggest we divvy the monies up evenly so that should any of us suffer some unfortunate loss, it would not be a sizable loss to the party.
And
if
it just sticks his hands out.
I was having a little bit of trouble envisioning how much you're asking.
So he'll divvy out 109 to everyone, and then like watch the Kenku to like, is that the amount you want? Is it more? Less? A hamburger?
How many people do we have in our party now? 6? 5?
I believe we're at 6.
You are at 6.
So that gets us to, and
He's going to take what you gave him
okay,
and then do the motion again.
and then he hands you one more.
And again.
Here's another one.
And again.
And once more for you, little guy.
And again.
There you go, my favorite
And
friend.
an hour passes, and
Basically, until there are 59 more coins in my hand, he's going to keep doing it.
Okay.
And there's number 58. Oh, but I don't think you need any more than that, so I'll just take
59. Okay. So hang on. So
Kenku
You'll have to
math
sit
versus
through that.
goblin math.
all right. Let's see.
Oh,
So
wait. That was before or after we purchased the kit and the extractor?
you haven't
Yeah.
purchased that yet.
So I have reserved the money for the kit and the extractor. So we're
Okay.
divvying up what would be left after that,
Okay.
which would
so
be
that's why
653, and then
that's why my math would be off. Okay.
oh, sorry, yes, we are at 653, having put aside money for the essence extractor and the harvesting kit.
Okay.
For the record, people watching going, what's an
By the way.
essence extractor? We're using a custom crafting PDF. And part of that PDF includes a magic item known as a monster essence extractor. It is a leather band that goes around the wrist. It has a syringe on it, and you extract essence from monsters that have essence as part of them. It's used in making potions and items that represent the affinities of said beasts.
Either way, if Rogue continues handing the coins over, then yeah, definitely. Kenku's just going to take it all.
No, he so Rogue actually Rogue would fight you for that last one, but eventually he'll give in and give you that last 59th one, because that puts him at 49 and he didn't want to go below 50. But he'll go down to 49 because
You look like an honest Kenku, as I am expert judge of Kenku. There you go. And then if you want any more, you gotta go ask the others.
so everyone should please add 109 gold pieces to their character sheet. The Kenku can add 59 on top of that, and Rogue will have 49.
Okay.
Kenku's slowly starting to realize this goblin's not as bright as he thought he was at first.
Shh. That is what is known as a state secret.
Okay.
So, between handing coins out to people, you get breakfast and you very dwarven breakfast is about the same as dwarven other meals. Very alcoholic.
The best. It's like a full English with an extra pint of ale.
You make your way back on the dark and yet not dark streets of Dimladar.
Okay. August at this point will take the lead because last time we were wanting to go talk to the stone speaker. And so I will motion for them to follow me as I take them to the stone speaker.
Did you want to talk to the stone speaker or to the Pensophical?
Runic Pensophical is the one who would sell us the essence extractor, I think.
Stone speaker's religion. The Grimstone brothers are
Right.
the head of the Pensophical.
Right. I stand corrected.
Just making sure that everyone remembers names. Yeah. You would know where at least that building is. And as you start heading up the elevators, the massive platforms connected to chains and winches with these large glowing bluish purple crystals, you head all the way up to the first ring, where there's actual daylight coming in from the large entrances and windowed holes in the sides of the mountain. And you walk all the way around the ring to the opposite side of it. And what you see is a very large, still what would appear to be cut into the side of the mountain itself, but a very large alabaster white marble building. Of all the places you've gone here, the predominant colors are stone, browns, and grays, mixed with black iron and precious metals of bronze, silver, and gold. Everything's had that appearance, and yet this building is, the surface of it is purely white, to the point where looking at it almost hurts your eyes now that they've adjusted to being underground so much. Two braziers sit on the outside of the large stone doorway. And sitting beside them are two dwarves in robes. Their hands are crossed, resting upon large greatswords. And they're just standing there, rather, with their eyes closed.
Well, I'm thinking one of you folks should take the lead on this particular conversation.
August will, since these are his peoples. He feels as though he belongs to this group of dwarves. So walk up to the big alabaster white door.
And as you walk up, both in unison, the two dwarves standing beside the braziers both lift the pommels of their greatswords and tap the blade onto the floor, just tapping the point. And from inside, you hear a boom. Some sort of loud bronze, either gong or plate, rings out. And as you look upon these two dwarves, you see the lines in them. You see that their robes aren't moving, they're actually carved. You can see that where the joints are actually mechanical. These are two more constructs.
Okay.
Yeah, as you all start to notice, Prudence, you notice they're also constructs, and these are eloquent to a point you've not seen before. These are finely detailed, incredibly well created. These are masterworks, as far as you're concerned.
Automatons are not technically her wheelhouse, but she still gets excited about the engineering of
As you look at them,
awesome.
As you're looking at them, you can actually watch they even have a movement within them that causes their chests to slowly and rhythmically move in and out as if they were breathing. These are strong replicas of real dwarves. After a few moments of you standing outside and admiring these crafts, the door starts to part open, and another dwarf steps out. Long, white hair, tied into a ponytail, tied tight behind the head. Dark, silken robes, with these white embroidered lines crossing all the way down the piece in a archonic symbol across it. As he shifts and moves, you watch as all the white lines shimmer with a gold to them. May I help you?
Yes. We're looking for an essence extractor.
The dwarf cocks his head to the side. Are you a member of the Pensophacal?
No, but I am with the Stone Speaker.
Unfortunately, the Stone Speaker is of a different keep than our own. And he looks past you to the rest of the group that's standing there. I do not suppose that your group has an appointment.
No. We weren't aware that one was needed.
Bother. Wait here a moment. And he turns and walks in, and the doors close behind him.
I turn around and I say, I don't think he likes us. To the rest of the party.
Well, see, I think where your problem was you were supposed to say yes.
But we didn't have one.
Yeah, that would be what is known as a fabrication of the truth.
Oh. My apologies.
Well, that's alright. It's something that you learn over time. But perhaps it would be wise to play up our rather exceptional nature, and that we are recently in the favor of the king or lord or emperor, whatever it is you dwarfy folk have. And that we are working towards their betterments.
Oh, okay. I did play up who we were with by mentioning the Stone Speaker, but he didn't like that.
Well, then you should try somebody else.
Okay. I will try.
Yes.
And I don't know what the actual scores are, but I feel like it's the two worst charisma people right now having this conversation.
You would be correct.
And that's why it's going so well.
There are two people present here with 16s. Neither of them are speaking.
That seems fair.
It's alright. We dwarf people know how to speak dwarf.
Yes, and as your goblin's advisor in the intricacies of the dwarven culture, I feel we can work this out.
Right. The way of the lie. I need to
Yes.
learn this. Okay.
Yes,
And it's not really that hard. You just say things that aren't true. Mostly for the betterment of yourself.
yes, that is an important key aspect.
This is an idea that is foreign to me. I generally go for the betterment of other people instead of myself.
Well,
It could be for the betterment of us. And she gestures to the group.
I can try. That's all I'm gonna say. I will try. And then Aglas is gonna brush himself up so he looks somewhat presentable for next time someone comes through the door.
And you all wait. About a half hour passes before you hear the doors. And you see the same dwarf man. Please enter. He motions for you to all walk inside.
I'm gonna go to slap hands with someone because I did a good job.
yes, heads up.
Yes. Okay.
You're all led into a large foyer chamber. There are numerous couches and sitting arrangements. You see a large desk pressed up against the back wall with a door on either side of it. And you watch as the dwarven man leading you in walks towards the desk, goes around it, and takes a seat. Takes out a large tome, places it down, opens it, and turns it, and pushes it forward, taking an ink and quill, and placing it alongside the tome. If you could, your name. He points into the tome.
Okay. I go up and in very sloppy penmanship, write what looks like Oglisk.
The dwarf looks out at the rest of you.
Signing in, huh?
You're signing in.
She does one of those, like, P squiggle, 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 squiggle line.
And as you both sign your name, you watch as you finish and lift the quill up. There is a flash from the ink, and the name is... The ink is immediately dry, and the name seems to be almost burned to the page.
Now, what's the point of that, I wonder?
Insurance purposes. We must keep track of everyone who enters and exits the Pansufferable.
Well, yeah, but just writing our name.
There are folks who tend to lie.
General Rogue Esquire, Senior Advisor to King of Romish and Soul and Trusty Steed Paladin. To be known as the Great Horse and other great things. The Third Esquire.
And you watch as the name flashes and burns into the page.
There you go.
Isoba walks up and quickly fills his own name in. And and then offers the quill to Snap and Artoria.
Artoria will take it and write her name in some of the worst penmanship any of you have ever seen, between a -2 dex and a -1 intelligence.
All right, ours is on par. I like it.
You know, there's practicing you could do to make your mark a little bit cleaner. I could show you how.
Nah, my hand's too shaky for that.
Well, you see what
Who
you
needs
do
to
is-
write when I can just solve most of my problems with a sword?
Well, that's a sad sort of outlook right there.
Unless he signs with a sword, we might have a Zorro on our hands.
I don't have the steady hand for that either.
Okay.
It's more of a giant cleave, and that's my mark.
Gotcha. So,
Yeah, it's probably not the time for that joke.
No, Casey. Enlighten us.
No, this is a serious situation with this esteemed dwarven fellow. There's no need to be bringing undue attention to your stuff.
so we need Snap to sign. Is that the last person?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Here you go, Snap. It's better for you. Or did you want to use one of your own?
Snap will take the quill that you offer to him, dip it into the ink, and will scroll down a longer name written in Orin. If anybody is proficient with Primordial or Orin, let me know and I can send you the message of what his name actually is.
I am unsure if Isoba has the Eyes of the Urnkeeper invocation, so I'm going to assume he does not.
You got me beat.
It is a pretty fancy handwriting too.
There's some fancy handwriting you has there. Well done, Snap.
When he's done writing, he'll tap the tip of the quill on the rim of the ink well and set it next to it.
The dwarf nods and takes the inkwell back and places it, and you watch as your name flashes and burns into the page as well. Thank you. Now, if you would all be so kind as to step through the door on the right and stand within the circle.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Let's see, right is the one that does not make the AA.
This way.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
What kind
You
of
all
circle
walk
are
through
we
the
looking
door.
for?
And as you step through the door, you're not led into a hallway, you're led into a very confined circular room. And this room is unadorned, completely empty. The only thing within it is a large, intricate circle on the ground. Multiple rings make it up with lines scrawled through it, and it looks as if it was chiseled into the floor itself.
Are there any dwarven runes of markings that I could read to see If it says like up or down, like the
Plenty of
elevation.
dwarven runes, but they don't have a language attached to them.
Okay.
It's arcana. They're arcanic symbols.
Gotcha.
Would
Okay.
Snap be able to read through and identify what the nature of the magic circle is?
Yes. Are you using the identify spell, or are you just examining?
Just our general arcana knowledge type.
Roll an
deal.
arcana check.
Fuck no.
Nope. Never seen this before.
Well, let's see here. Inside the circle would be on this side.
And he kind of
Come on, Paladin.
Mastiff slowly walks onto the circle alongside you,
That's a good puppers.
and you watch as the circle flashes and Rogue and Paladin vanish.
Ah!
Oh, neat. And then she'll run in.
Prudence as well as she steps on the circle, and she vanishes. And what the two of you see is now a similar room with an open doorway, and you're looking into a large, sprawled out workshop. Similar to what you had at home, Prudence, and you can hear the sound of hammering.
When allowed, I will follow into the circle.
Okay, you and you appear into the room alongside Prudence. Rogue.
Go as well.
You all eventually make your way into this other chamber, and you're all greeted with the sound of loud hammering and grunting. And as you walk in, you see two dwarfs, familiar to you. One is heaving this large sledgehammer above his head and driving it down onto an anvil. The other one is holding a large pair of tongs with some heavily glowing ingot or piece of material on the tongs, and he's holding it, and the two are working this bit of material. Slams the hammer down, and sparks go flying across the room. The other dwarf turns it, flips it, and the hammer comes down once again, and they seem to be trying to form this into some kind of square. They're both wearing these deep, dark, shaded goggles and large leather aprons with these large leather mitts over their hands.
Well, it's good to see that I's not the only one achieving it. Well,
This room is hot.
Is
As
there
you step
any-
into it, it is like walking into a...
Is there any indication on what they're working on?
As you look to the side, just beyond them, you see one of those large golems used to watch over the city, but its eyes are empty and blank, and there is a square hole in its chest.
She wants to go peek. Just distracted a great deal.
And as you look around, this is a much larger and much more fine version of the laboratory and workshop you are used to using yourself from back in Corethan.
She's just like doing the like bouncing on the balls of her feet and grinning and
Prudence's
Looking
tail
like a-
keeps whacking whoever's
Just like-
standing next to her on either
kid
side.
in a candy shop kind of thing. And she's kind of gravitating towards the big automaton thing and trying to get a look at what's happening on inside. Like, how big are they again? Like big or
The golems?
yeah, the one that's open.
That one is about 20 feet tall.
So she could sort of like on the tips of her toe, like not like right up at it, but just kind of like trying to get a look on the inside of what's happening.
Well, the chest piece is about 15 feet in the air.
Yeah, that's why she's not like rushing up to it. She's like trying to see, even though it's far away.
Hard to make any details from this point. You do see some form of etching inside the heart chamber. Big air quotes there. But that's you can't really make out much more without going to examine it. However, you do see tools for the creation of scrolls, items, potions, all manner of arcane make and model. And eventually, as your eyes are scanning this room of all these well-made and well-designed tools of a trade, the hammering comes to an end, and both the dwarves start to take their goggles off. The one holding the pair of tongs brings the piece, and as it cools, you can see it's not metal. It looks to be a crystal that they've been shaping and forming into square. You can see as it's cooled down now, it's a dull purple, and you can see lights from sconces nearby catching and refracting through it. He goes and he puts it on the side, and he also takes his goggles off, and they both turn to look at you. Well, so you're the ones from the King's Court.
Yes, sir. She's not taking her eyes off of any, like not looking at him. She's very obviously like.
Prue is just like her one. Both eyes are just in different directions, just
fascinated by everything.
Going nuts. Alright, well, come on in. And the one dwarf places the hammer down. You see that the one that was hammering is the one with the heavy scarring across his face. You recognize his name to be Baldric. Or Bardric, sorry.
The sound of his name, I'm guessing he's gonna introduce himself. I stammer out of my mouth that we're looking to purchase an essence extractor.
Hi, we heard. You see the other dwarf, Gaston, start going over and rummaging through like what is essentially a chest over on the corner in the ground. Pensophagal has rules meant to be followed. We don't give these out to normal folk. Too much danger. People throwing their fucking lives away for nothing.
I like my life. It's not getting thrown anywhere.
Aye? You came from the north. I don't know much that's gonna be getting you lot. So, what can the Pensophagal do for you? He stares all of you over this very hard glare.
A Pensophagal or essence extractor for our travels is what we would like.
His eyes switch to the rest of you as he... It's a cross between an inquisitive stare and a hard, parental glare from him.
Well, You see, personally, European Shoppicle is an opportunity, one might say. We plans on traveling about a bit. Now, I personally have need to return to the north, so it would be beneficial if we could come to some sort of understanding or arrangement, so that as we encounter difficulties with creatures of a magical nature, we could perhaps bring such things to you as the purveyors of magical stuff, and you would what do they do with these things?
And he looks up to the tiefling.
Make things out of other things.
Yeah, that's. So yes, we would like to come to an understanding that we is not interested in supplanting your business. We wish to
Enhance.
Yes. What the bubblegum lady say?
You see as the other dwarf who's been digging to the chest stands up, and in his hand he has a leather band with a large needle that's protruding from the bottom of it. Attached to it is already an empty vial.
Nance, you say? Well, that's an interesting proposition.
Well,
He looks to his other brother.
Well, generally it's easier to make magic things when you already have magic things to work with. I mean, you can't go
we had
without.
a good thing going with Menace. Those crazed knights always love to go murder evil bastards.
Yeah,
The north gone. We've got
this
no
one's a
supply.
crazy one.
The north gone. We have no supply.
And he shrugs his shoulders and then walks forward and places the instructor on a empty table, and in the other hand he places down about 5 empty glass vials, about maybe 3 inches deep. And he looks at all of you. His stare is far kinder. His eyes hold a much lighter tone to them than his twin brother.
I believe we can work with this.
And he turns back and looks to Bardrick, who nods slowly.
I think we can. So, as leaders of the Runic Pensophacal, you bring us parts, we open up our collections to you. For a price, of course. Maybe not as high as you should find in Corethan.
Everything's overpriced down there.
Yeah, I would say that is a right neighborly arrangement that you has made, and I do wish to assuage any concerns you might have. As you may have noticed, our esteemed Artoria here happens to be one of those northern knights of which you mentioned, and it has been said, and she herself has just recently reminded me, that she makes her mark with her cleavage. So you will be pleased with your experience with this agreement.
I almost made it. I couldn't hold it.
It wasn't the joke. It was you breaking right after it.
So that's about what we have there. Thank you. Your kind consideration.
You got a hell of a bop on the back of the head.
Ouch.
16 points of whack.
You earned that one.
Well, I mean, come on, she set that one up. She's like right outside the door.
True, but still.
You see the kinder looking of the two brothers have to place his hand over his mouth and at the comment of cleavage. The other one looks down at you, looks over at all of you. Perhaps if this arrangement proves, if this bears fruit, and I do hope it will, perhaps your access will grow in time. And he steps off his chair and walks over, and he grabs something out of a corner as well and places it down next to the extractor. And what you see is a kit designed for carving monsters to bits. You see knives, swords, saws, picks, all the way down from these large, nearly two-handed, almost greatsword-like tools, all the way down to tiny little picks, brushes, and tweezers.
Oh, hey, look, Artoria, they has your meat cleavers for you.
Swear to God, one more joke out of you.
I think he might die.
I will die laughing.
I respect your dedication to your own cause.
Kenku will go up and examine the kit.
It's a fine kit. Everything looks new and polished and sharpened. As you go to pick one of the blades up and run your finger along the blade just to see how well it's been prepared, your feathers instantly are cut through. No resistance.
The Kenku is pleased. He'll make a motion for a second one. Basically motion at it and hold up 2 fingers.
Alright. And the second one is brought over and placed. Same kind of kit, same quality.
And these kits are what? 30 apiece?
50.
50? Yeah, screw it. The Kenku will pop out 50 gold out of his personal source for that second one.
And what these kits do for you is they let you harvest pieces of monsters, and they let you do so at advantage.
Wunderbar.
Like a
So
Lego
having two may
serial
help.
killer.
Yeah, having two may help in case you have a rather particularly large beast you're trying to part.
Or, if we have multiples.
Yeah, those two.
That way we're not fighting over tools.
So, gentlemen, I believe our business may be concluded. Is there anyone else who did have things to do with these brothers?
Is there anything in specific you've been looking for?
Just bits and pieces. Anything at the moment.
And he thinks for himself for a moment and leaves the table for a minute, comes back, and places another vial on the counter. This one is a brownish color. And he places it down, gives it a little shake, and spins it for placing his finger on it to make the motion stop.
Could always use more pieces and bits and what have you for more of these. Always useful in the mines.
And as he shakes it, you do see a sort of reddish color drift through the liquid. Healing potion. Standard.
Sounds good. We will certainly pursue such things.
And he takes the potion, he tucks it into the extractor. Just leaves it there. So, extract is 300 gold, 2 kits of 50 each. Do we have a deal? He holds his hand out.
Oh, come on now. If you truly want us to have continued business in the future, you're not going to make us pay full price for these, are you?
We don't know you yet.
Don't argue.
Fine.
And she will shake his hand.
This is these are known to be very wizardly dwarves, leader of an arcane house. It is a strong grip on these wizard.
Well, they're dwarves, naturally.
And hammering.
Fighter 10, Wizard 1.
So as it comes,
Wizard 20, he just lifts.
as it comes time to hand out the gold, Rogue goes all green gots on them, puts his little spectacles on, starts counting out the 350 gold.
Okay. Whoever wants them, you can add an essence extractor and a harvesting kit to your inventory.
I feel like Prudence is probably the most capable person.
Just
can
letting you
take
know, harvesting falls between either nature or survival.
I'll take the harvesting kit
She
as
has survival. But like harvesting kit, like she'll leave those to other folk.
Yeah. I'll take those as I'm used to using them on plants. Animals can't be much different.
That seems logical.
Yep. Snap has his.
Well, good days, gentlemen. Is it just back in the circle, or is there some sort of maybe door-like device that you could just walk through?
That is the door.
Oh.
He like holds his stomach as he waddles over towards the circle and steps in.
Let me see that. And he's pointing at Prudence, specifically the arm on her shoulder.
Which waves?
He goes over and the scarred-eyed dwarf starts to look it over. And in a language that you understand, Prudence, but I don't think anyone else speaks Draconic. Do they?
Negative.
I do.
Okay, so you understand them as well.
This is fine craftsmanship. Whereabouts you learn this?
Down in Corathan.
Oh, so you are that bastard.
What was that you cut off?
So you are that bastard student.
He straightens up at that. Damn right I am.
Do you see a smile peek over his face before he fades, and there's almost a darkness that takes over his face.
Would she like if they know each other, would she be able to like put 2 and 2 together? Like this is somebody that he knew.
You may put more together that this was someone who they rivaled.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a darkness creep over his face. He looks at you and he goes,
So he taught you this. What other secrets did he tell you?
Well, they wouldn't be secrets if I told, will they?
he looks you dead in the eye and says 2 words to you.
Dragon stones.
I don't think she could keep it off her face that she knows what he's talking about, or at least has heard of it. Like, her eyes kind of light up a bit.
He turns around and he walks back.
Alright. Be gone with you. Don't die.
And he says that in common.
Don't plan on it.
Sure.
We'll see you again soon.
And Artoria, you heard that entire conversation, including the words Dragonstone.
I'm curious, but I'm not about to mention anything.
Okay. You all once again step through the teleportation circle and you appear back in the foyer.
Why does everything dwarven have to shit so hell will be able to tell me?
It strengthens your center of gravity.
Yeah, she's gonna cause my center of gravity to come out one end or the other.
All right, is the creepy white-haired, long-haired guy here?
Yep, he's still
Or-
sitting at his desk,
Okay.
writing in a book.
Do we have a clear line out?
Yep.
Or do we need to...
You can head straight out, and as you walk towards the door, now you can see these doors don't have handles on them on either side, but as you walk towards them, they start to open them.
Okay.
Another set of these glowing crystals flank their sides. Prudence, you found what heaven.
Like, as she's walking through things, like, she's probably, like, pointing stuff out and, like, techno-babbling stuff about what she can figure just by looking.
It's a little bit odd for you because Corythan, when it has Magitech out in the open, it's very showing, and it's always a grand stage to place it upon. Whenever it's used in such a way where everyone can see it. It's always front and center, look what we've made. For the dwarves, it's very subtle. It's behind doors, behind the winches, elevator. You don't see it until you're looking.
Is there, like, more of it here? Like, in general, in terms of...
You haven't
Like-
been able to go down to level of the forges, mines. You haven't
Well, I
seen...
mean, like, like how they have the elevators and just like the doors are opening by themselves. Like is that showy in its own way? Like is that normal? Is what I'm saying. Is there a lot of it here?
Not
Rather than
particularly. It's actually not as much to Corethan. Well, Corethan has airships that come in and out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to say like there's more or less. You're having a harder time finding it, but you are seeing it around.
Mm-hmm.
Corethan is. It's a lot more in the open. Here, it's very subtly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not more or less than what you're used to, but it's a different manner of showing it off. You all make it back out onto the street, the upper ring. So what is your plan?
What else did we need to get?
I think that was it from my list.
So off to the Devil Woods.
I prefer to consider them the woods of ease and relaxation.
If only.
Yes, my thought is personally that we head to the east, passing through the woods, eschewing the roadways, and cross directly to Ivandar, and therefore has the opportunity to both collect and reconnoiter. From there, we could head south and visit the additional towns, or pass back through the woods for a profitable return journey, as may be dictated by our mental and physical states.
Okay. This'll be the farthest I've ever journeyed from Dimlodar, but I'm in good company.
Yes, you are, dear.
It's good to see the world a bit.
Let's go.
Okay. Are you acquiring any mounts, steeds, carts?
I think we have 2 horses. We have the Mastiff. Our
Let's
carts.
get a cart.
Yeah, are carts actually available, and are you only giving them to us because they won't make it through the woods? Is this
I'm giving you them specific. Because it'd be funny when you have to. Now, you can get a cart if you wish.
Why do we need a cart?
To carry all the monster bits back.
Pretty much.
Got a bag of holding.
Yeah, but like,
Well,
we want to get all our stuff in the bag of holding all gross from the monster bits.
well, you wraps them up in leaves.
I mean, I guess.
Well, would the extra, the harvesting kits like have, like, come with baggies or something to put things
No.
in? Or, like, it's just like.
It is just knives,
Like,
blades,
stuff.
tweezers, picks.
So we may want to buy a tarp. What? I'm serious. A tarp.
No.
Okay, so it might not be called a tarp, but it's still a tarp.
Yeah, no. I that is smart. That is smart.
That is a singular smart.
One whole smart. Just
All right.
one more than we've been doing so far.
I hit my quota for today. I'm gonna have to take a little break, or my head's gonna get a little hot.
You are feeling the pressure starting to build on the left temple from all the thinking.
This is my first venture into monster slaughter. How do we wrap up monster in what? What?
Well,
I
it's
mean,
a lot.
I understand the concept of like.
Is this your
out?
question?
But
Asking? Yeah.
no, she's asking in general. I usually work with metal, not meat, so I'm not exactly sure how to.
I don't usually keep the monsters, so I'm not quite familiar myself. Just looks to Rogue desperately.
Well, it's a lot like dealing with a human, but more
Concern.
fast. But on the upside, our good new friend here with the mushrooms in his face is an expert, having already identified that there is similarities between the dissection of a plant and the dissection of an animal. So I am confident in
I
his.
don't think.
There's also some familiarity, I believe, with Snap, as he seemed particularly fond of what I believe was a human toe removal device.
Is that not just a knife?
Well, yes, it can be used for many things.
So I was muted, but the,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, the monster harvesting kit, also known as torture tools.
Yes, you seem quite comfortable making
That's
things
why
uncomfortable.
Snap wanted his own.
I think a tarp for us is, or a covering of sorts, is a
Yes.
smart.
Yeah, but if we're having lots of bits and pieces, shouldn't we be able to put the bits and pieces into something, or things
Snap's
separate
going
from
to-
other things?
Snap is going to start walking away from the group, looking for a tailor shop of some sort.
Not on this. Go down.
Then he'll start going towards that direction.
You head down, circle that has all. Find one.
What's that, Snap? Has you scented something? Everyone follow Snap. It looks like he knows what he's doing.
You do eventually find a third.
Wunderbar. I'm going to go in and start finding, like, giant bolts of cloth. Cheap stuff. Rough coarse linen, that kind of thing.
You can do so fairly easily. You can get a bolt of that.
You're dropping out. Can get a bolt of that for...
Player's handbook. Where is that page? When I'm not pulling numbers out of my ass.
Zach, you might want to consider lowering your detection level, because you do just occasionally cut out while talking. Your mic just be losing your voice.
I need to put myself on push to talk. You can get a big old tarp of material for about, say, 30 gold.
That's a lot. Let's see. Player's handbook, 1 square yard of canvas is silver piece.
Oh, canvas.
Yeah.
Okay, that's different. That would be far less.
Okay. So, yeah, I'm going for cheap.
Yeah,
Said linen,
so
but-
call that 3 gold.
Cool. I'll get 9 gold worth of canvas.
You have a big old spread of canvas.
I motion for Peru in the bag.
She opens it up.
Thump, thump, thump.
I'm feeling more confident now. Good bird.
That's one way to address him.
Pats him on the
bird.
head.
So, you know, whenever birds are really intent and focused on something, they just look straight at it instead of giving the side eye.
Oh no.
He's giving Prue that look right now.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
I think that completes our preparations.
So, onward to victory.
Are you
Onward to
getting a cart?
I would think
Yeah?
no for now.
Here's
I mean,
the
how
question.
how big are the things we're going after?
That is yet.
We're going after dragons. What are you talking about? Wait,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
dragons are
They
gone.
Right.
don't exist.
We're going after zombie dragons.
We're going
Dracoliches.
after
There we go.
dragon
Oh,
bones. Zombie dragons.
There you go.
Dracolich.
None of you have any idea what a Dracolich is.
I know,
Sure
I'm
I
just
do.
thinking the comments out of character.
It's,
Because, you know, Snap can't actually fluent and can't speak.
a Dracolichen is when a mushroom and a algae grow within a.
I don't actually know what a lichen is, so
It's like a moss, isn't it?
It's like a moss.
Yeah.
I believe you. So onward to the forest,
I believe so.
and if someone wants to buy a cart, they certainly may.
Give me a moment. Because
For sake of brevity, you could get a cart for 15 gold.
Or perhaps a fancy something else.
You can get a carriage for 100.
Ooh, carriage.
So here's the question. Are we going to be able to get either of those through the woods?
There's no
Maybe to
path.
the
You're
edge.
not. You're leaving a path. You look upon the map where the direction you guys want to go, which is east and then straight towards Evendar. There's no path.
Yeah, cart not wise.
Yeah, I would think just horses this time. I mean, we can load the horses with stuff.
You got saddlebags?
I was gonna. I just thought of that. Assuming that we pick up maybe a set of saddlebags or whatever it is that you put on a horse. thing.
Saddlebags.
Yeah.
So if you're getting the horses a new sets of saddlebags, they're 4 gold each. You can put one per
One per horse.
So it'd be 8 gold for both horses.
Yeah,
Not too bad.
it just seems like a wise
Expansion. He'll do that for both the horses and for Paladin.
Okay. They don't fit very comfortably on Paladin.
Well,
They're
actually,
made for-
we'll get a special shadow bag for Paladin commissioned at a future date.
Okay. You have a saddlebag for Paladin.
What kind of
not...
saddles? Yeah, what kind of saddles are on the horses right now?
Standard riding saddles. They're not bareback. They're not the greatest make. Well, but they're functional.
Okay, let's go ahead and get those both traded out for military.
Okay. Are you getting full barding?
Negative on the barding, just getting military saddles for both of the horses. Trade in the riding saddles, so at half price that'd be 10 gold for both of those.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, 5 gold for each of the two
For
to get
each,
to the extra 10, yeah.
10 gold.
So
30 gold.
40, yeah, 30 gold for 2 military stuff.
Yep.
Easy enough considering the active been happening.
Mm-hmm. And better for if on horseback combat.
Hey, look, he's a horsey.
Yeah, but unfortunately I do not have the kind of money to throw barding at horses right now.
Okay.
That's okay. We'll see if they survive the first time. We might need to use them as bait.
Into the woods. Into
So,
the woods.
you freshly purchased saddles and items. You exit Dimladar. It's about close to a little past midday, maybe 2 in the afternoon. You'll be able to get a solid maybe 4 hours of before you settle down.
That seems reasonable. Good to be out on the roads again.
So, if we have 2 horses and a dog, who's riding with who?
Yeah, I was actually about to ask who's going to take what horse and by who. Ride with.
I'm
The
not
horses
sure.
can carry 1 person comfortably. You can fit 2 people on. You're not going to be able to fit 2 people on if you fill the saddle.
That's okay. If we have a successful hunt, we will simply walk a bit and then pick up more horses into town. Successful hunt. Looch.
So as we leave and looking that we have not enough horses for as many people as we have, is there someone with maybe a donkey?
I believe the only one who has a mount is Rogue.
I think he's talking about for purchase.
Oh, for purchase, yeah, you can pick one up.
How much is a donkey?
It'd be another 8 gold.
Okay. August is gonna grab a donkey for himself because he knows nobody's gonna want to ride with him because everybody hates mushrooms.
I think you have to buy at least a horse to ride it.
But I'm a dwarf.
I think dwarves are still medium.
Give me a moment.
You can certainly accept that rule, but I think by rule you have to be a size smaller than what you're riding.
Donkeys.
A donkey is a
much...
mount still, though.
But it's like our donkeys that much smaller.
Donkeys
Yeah.
are considered mounts. They're rideable.
The classification in the what is this? PHB is a mount. So. And the DM said it.
So I have a donkey.
You have a donkey. It is slower than your horses by significant margins.
It's about as fast as Paladin.
It is about as fast as Paladin.
Which is the perfect speed.
Right. Okay.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. Do they have an elephant for sale?
No.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord, we coming.
All right. So
I saw right away where you were going with that. I'm like,
Did they
I'm
have
on
any
a
other
donkey.
types of exotic mounts available?
no. You're looking at having to go to oh god, for an elephant. If you really wanted an elephant, you're looking at going to Irath.
Yeah, I was joking mostly about the elephant, but the other exotic mounts.
No. It's not really a exotic mount kind of place.
I'm surprised they don't have automaton mounts.
Dwarf.
They do, just not for sale.
Fair enough.
You know, if you would like to acquire a fancy mount for yourself there, Snap, we could certainly pursue that for you. Can you make the sound of the particular mount that you is interested in having, so we knows what we is looking for?
It makes a god awful screech.
Axe speak squawk.
Just makes an elephant noise.
No.
How much are horses again?
For
Relatively
a
cheap.
draft horse, they're 50. For a riding horse, they're 70.
Just regular horse. Well, we don't have a little girl.
We don't have a little girl.
Huh?
The princess.
Oh.
It does make things easier.
Yeah, Sir Lady Fancy Pants.
Sir, lady. Hold on.
Yeah, Sir Lady Fancy Pants.
Artoria blue screens for.
Just hear dial-up noises.
That's what I've been referring to the princess as.
I didn't even notice.
Playing that negative to intelligence tea. Is anyone buying mounts? We leave.
I got my donkey. I'm ready to go. Slow and steady wins the race.
I'll hold off on buying a mount for the meantime.
So
No, it's-
that would be. I
It'd
guess.
be 95 if you wanted to get it with a military saddle.
No, I'm just saying like Prue and Artoria and Snap and Isoba would have to share the horses.
Or one of you can walk.
Or can walk.
I feel that Isoba perhaps prefers to walk. Not being here to voice his opinion, this seems like a wise and fair decision.
Okay. You will be at the speed of a person walking, even with your mounts. So.
Or we could just share.
I'm okay with that. That means my speed is 5 more than what it normally is.
Well,
I'm moving faster.
But you can totally do that. I mean, either way, if you place an extra person, slow down, just because you have an extra. Plus donkey and mastiff, so the speed of walking compared to mastiff is not incredibly different.
Yeah, I mean, it's a brisk jog. If you were on foot.
So, you all exit out of the city, and you begin your trip. Who is keeping watch as you ride along?
That would be Snap and his owl.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
Will do. Let me pull up Wynn's character sheet so I make the roll. Perception at advantage. 22.
22. Okay. So, you all head off, heading eastward down the road. And first hour, fine. Still in the area of guards being nearby and patrolling. Second hour goes by fine. Third hour, it's starting to get dark. The sun is starting to set, but you still have some time left. It's maybe 2 hours before it gets too dark to travel without heavy light sources. On the fourth hour, there down the road. As your owl's flying overhead and you're watching, you notice a bit of movement start to rise up side of two bodies of what appear to be animals start to pick themselves up and lift off the ground. And they're large. They look almost wolf-like, but elongated and much bigger.
Well, that is unusual.
Are they in a... do they look like they're in, like, attack mode, or are they more inquisical?
Well, as you're all starting to take note in a snap, alarming creatures, you all turn back and look as there's these blurs of motion. These two creatures, from where you were, they were about 30 feet away and off the side of the road, trying to hide in an outcropping, a little ditch. And they go from about 30 feet behind you guys to 20 feet ahead of you in a flash of a second.
Well, that's unusual.
They cross around each other and are now flanking you on either side of the road.
Okay.
I suggest we prepare for an encounter of the aggressive sort.
So, place your tokens where they are on the map. And roll for initiative.
I do not see my token in the...
Draw it from your character sheet. So just pull from your character sheet and place it on the...
Oh, I did not. I don't think I put it on my character sheet.
I did.
So, like, if you click so that you're looking at the journal, so you see all the different characters,
Yep.
click to the right of the icon for yourself on your name, hold down, drag over to the map, and let go.
I've been talking and...
Muted.
Oh.
Yep. Anyhow,
Oh,
so I
got
was
it.
saying, essentially, since I have to be blind and deaf in order to see through the owl, I would be on one of the horses.
Okay.
Also, by the way, the Twitch is just seeing a weird white screen instead of the grass
Oh!
I s-
road.
That's funny. I see a white screen too.
I
The
do
tokens
well.
are there.
I see grass.
I see grass.
Let me refresh the page.
I
Yeah, I
see
think-
grass.
I'm gonna give a page a little refresh myself.
Kyle?
Hi, Carl.
You may want to, refresh, the
Hold on.
Roll20 page for the stream.
Hey, there we go. There's the grass and crap.
Hey, look at that. This makes a lot more sense all of a sudden.
It does.
Theater of the mind, everyone!
That's what I thought we were doing.
I thought you were gonna start drawing pictures. Actually, I was
Nope,
very hopeful.
I'm nuts.
Very hopeful. You haven't been around Zach enough if you are hoping for his drawings.
I mean, I love
Just
the
kidding.
drawings. Drawings are my
Always
favorite
fun.
part.
I'm crazy. I must have a map by law.
Fair.
That's not crazy. That's pretty reasonable.
But wind is about 8 feet up in the air at the moment. Because
So,
nice
just to
120 foot
describe
elevation.
these creatures while out the Twitch problems. At first, they look like red, not fur. It's too caked onto the flesh to be fur. Some kind of liquid that's making up parts of their bodies. You see them growling, snarling, and as they open their mouths to bark, this horrible noise escapes them as their mouths don't stop opening. It continues to split wider and wider and wider until the mouth line, the rows of teeth, are well past their shoulders. No tongue, just these 3 tendrils come creeping out of their mouths, moving and shifting, long points at the end of them, almost like needles, wriggling and screaming toward as they snap and shift, these blurs of movement. Their eyes are not eyes. You see 3 slits where eyes should be. They're staring and they're looking at you and they're barking, nipping towards you.
That's unsettling.
But these are horrifying creatures.
Snap is going to start off by making the same noises back at them.
Now you've got that noise in your pocket.
Artoria, I need an initiative.
Oh, sorry, I thought I did. My bad.
Keep the trend going. Natural 1. Holy shit! That's almost the best roll you could have made.
It really is.
But you forgot to click your token!
Oh no, I most certainly did. Roll20 just decided it didn't want to put it on the tracker, I guess.
Come on, roll 20.
Well, you gotta take that one now.
Yes!
It's okay. I rolled very well
I rolled amazing as well.
with a 0.
Yeah, y'all really put the effort in there.
Well, we want to make sure we are aware of the intentions of these fine things.
Their intention appears to be hungry.
Tis.
Well,
And with that, because they didn't get the surprise round, Augment, you're first.
All right. Seeing Beast over here, I'm gonna hop off my said donkey and move. Why won't it ruler? I'm gonna move out 25 to there.
Okay.
And I'm going to be speaking to the animal because it was described as a wolf. And on the way, I'm just gonna have my warhammer ready to kind of do a deflect with my buckler and smack him with my warhammer if he comes at me.
Okay, so you're holding your action to swing.
Yes.
All right. As you look at these things and you watch their horrifying, oversized maws rip off their body, you have a feeling that these aren't beastkin anymore. But Artoria,
Mhm.
you actually go near the top for one.
This is magical. And I can do something with it. So,
Actually,
not
you
wanting
would
to
be,
try and
you would be on your horse.
on the horse. Gotcha.
You were
How
riding.
much movement to dismount?
It's just 5 feet, just to jump off.
Okay. So, dismount. And I'm just gonna put myself between new friend and big scary thing.
Prudence, whose horse were you on,
Wait.
by the way?
Probably Artoria, so she's butt ways on this horse.
Okay.
And she'll have a great sword out, ready to action to take a fucking swing.
Okay. Okay, now it's these creatures' turn. You watch as it looks at you, and then in a flash of motion starts to run. And you watch as it blurs around you. It's this. The speed in which it moves is fairly intense, and as you're watching it, it almost looks like its form pulls away from it as it's moving. But it comes in, making the circle, and leaps forward, trying to take a bite at you. You can take your attack of opportunity, or your reaction attack, as it. In fact, both of them are going to move.
Alrighty.
Up to you. Actually, this one is going to come right over here.
Alright, so I'm gonna take my held action. Whack.
Okay, that hits.
That's a whack.
For 11 damage.
And now he is going to bite at you, Artoria.
Okay.
That'll miss.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is going to attack your horse.
No.
That hits a horse. I have to find out what stats are.
Not super high.
Riding horse.
I think they're like 13 HP.
Yep. So he bites for 7. And you watch as it clamps its mouth down. Those tendrils that act as its tongue latch out of its mouth, wrapping around the horse and jamming those needle-like points into the horse itself.
Does horse fall down, or?
Horse is bucking and kicking. Actually, make an acrobatics check, Prudence.
They are military saddles.
Which mean what exactly?
Advantage to avoid being dismounted.
Okay. 15?
As the horse kicks and rears back, you manage to grab and hold on from getting tossed off of it.
3 hands, helpful.
And you're using all of them at the moment. Rogue.
Onwards, Paladin! And he'll rush up there, about 10 feet away from that thing. And then he will poke it with his lance.
Poke it.
Poke it with lance.
That hits for 6 damage.
Yes, and then we will retrograde advance.
Now we'll stay there. We'll stay there. That's a good spot.
Okay. Any bonus action?
No bonus action. That's it.
Snap.
Hot minute. Been a while since I've played this character. Right. We were having my owl work on my initiative.
Yes.
Okay. So, Snap will... Yeah. He's going to dismount from the horse.
Okay.
Onto the side that Rogue's on. And we're going to do Rogue shit.
Go do rogue shit.
Because we're also going to give it the pokey pokey.
Okay, man.
Sneak attack because I have an ally within 5 feet of the target.
Yep. And yeah, that hits. 13 damage. And as you cut into these creatures, that mass of liquid parts almost too easily. You're not expecting how easily it is cut, but immediately upon that, the flaps of skin and reform.
It's kind of gross.
Does it look like it's hurt at all?
It looks like it's hurt,
Just not.
but the wounds you're leaving are they're cutting through them, and then it's closing right. It's not leaving these open gashes.
Also, wind is going to come down and be a little bit of a distraction, giving help action for whoever comes next.
Okay. Be prudence.
Okay. Prudence is gonna try to slide off the horse on the other side.
Okay.
Not sure if that's an attack of opportunity or not, but it's got its mouth around the horse, right? So
It's got its mouth around the horse, but mostly it's got these tongue-like appendages around. Its mouth is still kind of free. So they're kind of hanging... They hang out the sides and swing around as they wrap them up, leaving the mouth free to open and close. I will say jumping off first to get the side of it, which actually puts you here,
okay.
will provoke an attack of opportunity.
Okay. Do I get a cover from horse?
I'll say yes. Oh no! Where did the